Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Friends of Figma Miami. How many of you is their first event? Okay, almost half. Well, welcome. How many people is their second event? 3? 4? Okay, so 3. thank, thank you for coming. Yes, so welcome to Friends of Figma. There's no rain, so I'm not sure where the storm is so far. So, but thank you for coming. My name is Beto Navarro. So that's me. I'm a senior product designer at Amazon. And yeah, we started this around 5 years ago. It was myself, but now I have Jackie and Jonathan helping with the things. And well, we're doing this for the community. As you start coming out to the events, we're trying to make this a place that is safe for everyone, regardless of your experience in design or technology or whatever it is. And well, we're trying to communicate for you to learn something new each time that you come for an event. And of course, network, which is very important, especially now with the state of, the job market. There you go. Thank you. Jackie, where's Jackie? Come. So, okay. And we would like to welcome people online, especially waiting for 30 minutes until we get started. But yeah, we're finally here. So thank you. Camera there, camera 1, camera 2 over there. So thank you. Yeah, you're being all streamed online right now. So say behave. So Jackie?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here. I know it's if you're here local to Miami, we're expecting a tropical storm, which eventually we're going to turn into a Category 4 hurricane. And so thank you so much for being brave and being here tonight. And thank you, everyone who is joining us online. This is our first hybrid event, so I hope you guys have a great time. We worked really hard to put this together, and thank you so much to all of you who are here tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. So yes, I'm Jackie. I'm originally from Brazil, UX UI designer. I've been friends with Beto forever and a day, and I've been friends with Jonathan for the last few years, and this is a pleasure to be here tonight and then be part of this awesome product community here in Miami. Thank you.
Super quickly, yeah, I'm Jonathan. I think I've met most of you at some point. If not, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, like Jackie mentioned, this is our first hybrid event. We usually do them in person or online, but we've never done both. And so yeah, we are grateful. We are grateful also for our friends from LottieFiles. Thank you, Yamin, Selchi, everybody who is going to be presenting today. Thank you. It's gonna be fun. Who's a LottieFiles fan, or who has used LottieFiles before? Okay, a few people here. Awesome. I'm a LottieFiles fan. I use it at work, so I'm super excited to see what the LottieFiles team will bring for us. Anyway, I will hand it back to Beto, and we'll continue on with the intro.
All right, thank you. So a quick shout out. Of course, we say that the three of us were putting this together, but we need a lot of help. So we want to give a little shout out to our volunteers, starting with Sharon, that is on the back. Just applause. Yay, Sharon. Then Kristen is on the front. So if you came in, she was guiding you to come, to get your badge and your swag and check-in and stuff. And then Mayuri's on the floor as well, on the check-in table. So just applause for all of them, please. Hopefully they can hear you. There you go. Thank you. And is Pedro is here? Can you come? Okay. Okay. So yes. So when you see them, just please. Okay. They're in the back, guys. So you're on camera too, for the people online. So you say hi. So thank you guys for helping us putting this together. If you're interested in giving a speak on Friends of Figma, we're always looking for people that are interested in sharing stories, hot topics as AI or things regarding design or how to work with teams, in product, technology, feel free to scan the QR code if you're interested, or just reach out to any of us if you're interested on, maybe be part of our next event. And we are all we're in internet, YouTube. All the events are always posted in YouTube. So eventually when this is done, it will go to YouTube directly. And you can see all our past events there. And then Jackie is actually the one that manages all the social media. So when you're interacting with Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn is Jackie and Jonathan on LinkedIn. So be prepared for our next event in November. So we're working very hard to put this together. Jonathan, can we say what we're working on, just to give a sneak peek? Sure. Yeah. Okay, Carolina, you want to share? Yeah, come. So, a little applause to Carolina because we're working with her to put the event together. So.
Hi everyone, good night. So the next event is gonna be at Slalom. It's next door, it's in the building next door. So gonna be talking about AI. A really interesting topic is being talked nowadays. So it's gonna be a panel. So we're gonna bring different experts about AI. So you can ask questions. We're gonna be launching questions to them and answering them. So we all get in touch with what's new, how can we approach design and AI together these days. So you're welcome to come and I hope to see you there.
Awesome, thank you. So be on the lookout for eventually when we launch the event so you can sign up and be ready for joining us in November. We're part of the community. Design is not just us. There are other places. If you want to meet other people in tech, you can go to Product Meet People. They do networking events. So that's more focused on networking. And there's a big Slack channel in South Florida that is Fluxia. So if you're interested in just communicating with other people on design or technology, they post sometimes jobs there as well. So maybe it's helpful for everyone to join that Slack channel. And then, of course, we want to give a thank you from Brainstation to Andrea that is on the back. Please, big applause. She was our IT helping us to put all of this together. So big thanks to Andrea. And then I want to give now the microphone to Carlos. He's going to talk about Brainstation.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Also, thanks for Friends of Figma to host the event in our space. My name is Carlos Rojas. I am the manager for the growth team and department here at Brainstation Miami. A little bit about Brainstation. We equip professionals and businesses with the most in-demand digital skills. That includes UX, UI design, artificial intelligence, software engineering, data science, AI, and more. We offer certificates across 5 different campuses globally in 3 different continents. So we have a campus in Vancouver, we have a campus in Toronto, London, New York City, and then best for last, Miami. So really excited to welcome you all to the space. Can I get a show of hands? How many people are here for the first time today? I've never heard of Brainstation. Amazing. So a little bit about us. We teach part-time courses for professionals. So once a week, 3 hours a week to really upskill and learn the most in-demand skills, something you can add to your resume. And then we also teach career-changing boot camps. I see a few of our alumni here in this room today, which is awesome to see. Essentially, people that come in with no skills, like Sharon, or some skills, not UX skills, and then go on to land some amazing roles at some amazing companies. So it's just awesome to see you all here today, but awesome to see some fellow alumni in this space. And we're excited to have you. So like I mentioned, we're across 5 companies. The curriculum that we teach are curated by 7,500 hiring partners. So these are amazing companies that just essentially give us feedback and help us curate our content. We have trained over 100,000 professionals worldwide, and we're on a mission to train 1 million by the year 2026. So that is our goal. We have a ton of different scholarship opportunities. We actually have, for Miami learners only, a full-time UX UI bootcamp that kicks off on Monday. So I don't want to steal the light, but if you are interested, just let Beto know and he'll send your information to me. But it is a fully funded bootcamp on Monday at no cost. It starts on Monday for 12 weeks, so you'll graduate by the end of the year and have some job-ready skills, hopefully, to find a new role as soon as January. That's essentially it. So super excited to welcome you all into our space. We also have some free courses that we're offering at no cost until the end of the year. These kick off in November. So courses in digital marketing, product management. So for those of you in UX, product management is awesome. And data analytics, if you want to practice SQL, visual representations, Tableau, things like that. So I'm more than happy to have a conversation. If you're interested in learning more about these courses or bootcamps, please let me know afterwards. We'll share my information. And that's pretty much it. Super excited to have you all here tonight. Have the best time tonight, all right? Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right. I'm actually taking the product management course next week with Brainstation. So, okay. So we'll start the transition into LottieFiles. So I'll go back to the computer and give the word to our LottieFile friends.
All right, can you guys hear me? That's my first question. Am I audible?
Okay, Yamin, let me know if you can share the screen.
Yes. Can you guys, people in Brainstation, can you guys hear me? Is that good? Yeah or nay? All right, cool. Let me share my screen. All right, so he's how it's gonna go. So Rick, just gonna do the boring stuff, which is of course introduce Lottie files, talk about how good we are, and then I'm just gonna hand over to my team, and they're gonna take you guys through this entire situation. First of all, my name is Yamin. I lead global partnership for Lottie files, and thank you guys so much for signing up to do these amazing online and of course offline workshop that we're doing to teach our Figma Lottie tool. And so just give a little bit of introduction about LottieFiles. But before that, for folks who are in the room, if you have any of our swags, be sure to download our mobile app and actually scan them for some fun. Not doing any product placement, but just if you guys want to try it out, just download our mobile app and try it out. So Motion is, of course, now powers everyday designs. This is something which we love, and we want to help you guys out with. All these amazing cool products are using Motion to actually make their products come to life. And so Lottie is what's powering most of these everyday designs. And we're super proud that we are now an official standard for motion design. If you want to check it out, you can check out the Lottie animation community, which is being led by Google and Airbnb. Lottie is, of course, a JSON-based file format, pretty much a notebook file format, which helps to bring motion to life, which is extremely smaller in most of the file formats. So LottieFiles is actually a motion design platform for developers and designers to come together to work on animation. We're talking about Lottie file format to any file format that your developer wants you to create to actually make motion happen. And our aim is very simple. We just want to enable motion. It's all about helping you to create animation, collaborate animation, of course, implement animation. Now, for designers, how we look at designers is very simple. We want to help designers unlock your superpowers as superheroes. And how we do this is very simple. We want to help you to create motion with what you already are familiar with. And today we're going to be touching most on Figma. And of course, how you can actually access whatever you create within the tools that of your preference, and how you can actually access the motion, put it into one of these amazing apps which is part of our ecosystem. We're talking Framer, Canva, Webflow, anything that you are designing with, we help you actually put it in. And of course, we help you become a dev BFF. This is the thing that we always ask. How do you actually become more friends with your devs? Well, LottieFiles has multiple ways you can actually be your devs BFF. If you are a no-code designer and a no-code developer, we help you guys implement those. We have multiple ways you can actually implement the file. And of course, if you are working with your devs, and if you don't want to have your designs mutilated by your devs, we actually have multiple ways for you to do your handoff to your devs, and it's something that we're going to cover today as well. So in short, this is what we're trying to create for every designer. Motion creation tools, way for you to actually organize your motion library, an easy way for you to design with motion, of course, implement. And today we're going to be just focusing on this special component, which is motion creation. Now, of course, the moment we say After Effects, everyone freaks out. Um, they think keyframes, they think all these different tools that they gotta learn, the learning curve and everything, and we know it's kind of tough. But something we noticed last year when we released our video to Lottie tool is that a lot of people were making animations within Figma using prototypes, taking like a screen video capture of it, and actually using our video to Lottie tool to make Lottie animations. And we talked to Figma and said, look, why don't we build something on top of the Smart Animate function? And now we actually have a way for you to create Lottie animations within Figma just by connecting a few frames. And what we're seeing is a massive reduction in learning curve. And this is something to be excited for at this age. So what we're going to cover today is very simple. You're going to learn from us. We also have Jonathan in the room, who, if you guys have any questions, you can actually ask him as well. There's going to be hands-on animation creation experience. We're going to share with you guys a few files which you guys can actually use as well. And we have a bit of a challenge for you guys to get certified. It's pretty simple, don't worry. And our aim today is to enable everyone in the room to get yourself into motion design for the first time. So these are the amazing folks going to be here today. We have Celsi, who's our brand manager. Mao is actually our Lottie studio lead, and of course, we're gonna be there to help you guys out during this entire process. And don't worry, we'll take it very slow. You have time for you to ask any question that you require, and just bring it to us, and let's have a fun time. So this is the agenda. There's gonna be introduction to basics of the plugin. There's be a bit of a basics on doing comp animations. And we're going to introduce you guys to a final challenge. And if you submit it by the time mentioned in the slide, you will get certified. So these are animations that were created in the past 2 weeks in our workshops. And these were just created by folks like you who entered one of our workshops, and they just created these. So don't worry, it's super fun and super simple and super easy. Let's just have fun. So, and this is what you're going to get at the end of the workshop. After you submit everything, you're going to get a LottieFiles digital certificate. And of course, you're going to get certified on our profile, which you can actually send to your employees. And of course, if you want to show off, that's there. And these are some of the next destinations that we're going to have. So if you are in any of these destinations on these dates, feel free to come down and check us out. All right, so let's get started. So before we really get started, let me just show you guys some stuff that you guys have to keep in mind today. Just want to set a few ground rules for our application. All right, here we go. So these are frequent questions that we get asked during our presentations. Like, what's the level of skill required? So all you got to do and remember today is, and all you have to use today is these three tools. The first tool is, of course, how do you actually create a frame? The second tool is, of course, to insert shapes. And these are the only two tools that you need to know today. If you already know these two tools, you are halfway there. Because with our plugin, all you need to do is create something like this. Open our plugin. And there you go. You actually have your first animation there. So if you already know how to use these two tools, you are already halfway there. The second question that we always get is, what's the level of animation we expect? Well, not to show off, but these are stuff that you can actually create. It can be as complicated as this Jigglypuff that we created, or it can be as simple as this witch that we created. Or if you want to go even more basic, can be something as simple as this. So don't worry, we're not expecting you to create a Picasso by the end of today. Just something that, just learning the basics, the fundamentals, so that you can actually create something very simple and very cool, which you can use for your website. And third most question that we get, how do I get certified at the end? It's a very important question. So we would have a final challenge, which you guys can do. It's actually on this Figma file, which we're going to share a little bit, where you can actually do a final challenge animation using one of these. Don't worry. Again, we're gonna go through this a little bit today as well, and then we have a type form you guys can fill in. And once that's done, that's it. To fill the type form is pretty simple. We have created spaces for you guys, or if you're working on your own Figma file, don't worry about it as well. All you gotta do is just make a section. Go here and go to copy link to section, and just put it in the type form. There'll be a question asked in the type form to actually put it in your in the type form itself. So don't worry about it as well. And yeah, and if you have any questions, please do tag us. We will always have one of us who is not presenting in the work file itself. So if you have any questions, go to comment, click, and let's say just click in something like mouth. Yeah, there you go. And we'll jump in and we'll help you out while someone is presenting. And that's it from my side. That's the introduction. I just want to give you like a little bit of a ground rules and everything. And yeah, over to you, Chelsea. Let's take this workshop forward. Hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, Yamin.
All right, let me stop sharing the screen. All right, there you
All
go.
right. So, hello, Miami. Thank you for joining in today, and hopefully everyone is staying safe there. I'm Celsi, and I'll cover a basic animation creation using Figma to Lottie. And after that, Mao, my colleague here, will share with you on how to do more advanced animation using Figma to Lottie. So, with that, let's get started. Yamin, have you shared the file?
All right, let me share the file. Don't worry,
Okay.
guys. We'll share sharing it now. Don't worry. For those online, here we go. This is the file. For those in person, Jonathan, can you share the file with them? Okay.
All right, maybe I'll just
Yeah,
start.
oh,
Sorry?
sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think your team was going to share a QR code,
Oh
or
yeah, sure. Sorry about that.
do we have
Let me.
that?
Yeah, we do have that. Sorry.
Yeah, or URL or something that was easier for them to type.
Yes. Give us yeah. Give us a few minutes. We're just gonna put that up.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry, guys. My bad.
No worries. Right, I start to see some people joining in already.
Chelsea, I'm sharing with you a QR code. Can you just put it in your deck so people can scan?
Yep,
All right.
sure.
No problem. There we go. There we go.
Give me a sec. Here, guys.
All right. Let's give them a few minutes for people in the
Yep.
room to scan. Yeah. Maybe make it bigger.
Can you zoom in on the QR code so can scan it here on? There you go. Thank you.
All right.
Yamin, can you provide a short link as well and put it on
Yes.
the chat?
Writing you guys a little bit. Here we go. You guys can use that. So you can put that in and can put in the in presentation as well. Let me just put it in. Here. All right. There. All right.
The
Thank you,
link?
Yamin.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys can use this link as.
There's a short link as well. It's lottie.link/FOF Miami
Miami.
for the people here.
Oh, 1 second, folks. I'm gonna reshare my screen so that I can show the drop-down menu from the plugin. Give me a sec. All right.
Are we good? Okay, we're good here. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, so we're just gonna go through the plugin. So if you're still with the old Figma UI, you will find the plugin on like the top left of your Figma. It's gonna look like this, and you can just click on the plugin, type in LottieFiles. But then if you're on the new UI, you can just go from here, oops, and then click on the plugin and widget, and then you can choose LottieFiles, and you can run the plugin already. So yeah, this is how the plugin is looking, how it looks like. So I'm gonna explain a bit what it is in this plugin. So first thing first, you will see these 4 tabs on the top. The first one is the Discover. This is where you can find free and premium animation that you can use for your projects. So you can just type in any keywords over here, and then you will find the animations. You can scroll and then click next, and then find any animation that you like. And then Workspaces over here is where you store and access your animation. So for instance, here Mao and Yamin and I, we were a part of this same workspace. So we kind of can share and access each other's animation and edit it as well. And here, export to Lottie is what we're going to use today to create animation on Figma and export it as a Lottie. And last but not least, we have these tools. So our tools help you to, first is to generate factor graphics from text description, and then raster to factor, where you can convert raster image and then turn it into factor graphics. And then thirdly, is to import Lottie animation. So if you have a JSON animation or .lottie animation, you can just click on the import and then drop your file and then insert it as SVG or GIF as you prefer. Additionally, in this plugin, actually, let's say I want to recolor this animation, you can just do it right away in this plugin as well. So if you click on here, this is where you can click on the preset color palette, and then it will reflect it. It will be reflected immediately, or you can even create your own palette over here, and then you can save to your workspace, insert it as a GIF, or insert it as an SVG. So yeah, that's the overview about the plugin. And I think let's get started with animating a single frame. So like what Yamin has mentioned before, we want to make sure that this workshop cater everyone with any level of expertise in using Figma. So don't worry if Figma is not your forte or you're just starting to explore using Figma. The basic tools that you will need to know is just 3 basic things, like what he mentioned before. So to create a frame, so you can click F as a shortcut, or you can click this icon, or if you're in still in the old UI, it's on your top left corner, and you will find this icon as well. And you just need to click and drag, and you already have your frame. And what I want to show you over here is, Oh yeah, feel free to create a frame underneath over here. So if we click on one frame, let's say I have this visual, I want it to be pulsing, but I don't know how to animate, right? I just have the graphics, let's say. So I click on this frame and then just click on export to Lottie, hit the button, then you already have your animation ready. There are so many animation presets over here. We have squash and stretch, rotate. Of course, it doesn't really do much because it's a circle. And then we have pulse as well. And we also have additional settings where you can choose. There is a layer animation of sequential or parallel, meaning that parallel that it's gonna move all together and sequential gonna move it one by one. And even you have control over the duration, start delay and end delay. Let's say I want it to be a bit slower. I can increase the number of duration to 50. And then I want to have a bit of a delay at the beginning. So I put 10 and then end delay as like, let's say 50. So it stays a bit longer at the end. So that's animating a single frame. And you can do this with any graphics, any graphics that you have. And you can just use the animation preset. And you can also choose from here, like move in, move out, or highlight. And even, let's say I want to see how it looked like against a background color, you can choose it from here. And this is a very fast button where you can click and decide on the speed of the animation if you don't really bother on changing the duration, start delay, and end delay. So yeah, that's animating a single frame. But then let's say, ooh, nice. I see everyone is creating their shapes. Let's say that I already kind of know how the animation works and I want this to be a bit more, like I want to have more control over my visuals, right? So how do we do the multiple frames animation? So let's say instead of having only one frame, I have a second frame that I want exactly how this circle gonna look like, meaning like I want it to be as small as this. So if you want to have that kind of control, you can have multiple frames. And then what you can do is that you can multi-select the frame and then again, export to Lottie. In this case, you will have much more control because it is exactly reads your exact frame, and then the animation will just follow the exact sizes that you're putting it here. That's the multiple frames. And let's say, hey, I know how to do this. I want to have more control. I want to have more like better animation for this pulse. How can I do that? So to do that, we can animate the prototype. So with the prototype, what's going to happen here, I'm going to show you how it's going to look like. Okay, so we have this app that having this fun clapping animation, and we want to recreate this using the animating prototype. So with animating prototype, you have more control over your animation, meaning like how you want it to move. Is it easy and is it ease out? You want it to be fast or you want it to be slower? You want it to have a bit of a delay or you want it to be like very fast as a snap? It's up to you. It's you have control over all these things. So if you're very familiar with the Smart Animate feature on Figma, and there is these two tabs that you need to change, you need to switch. When you design, you need to be on a design tab, but then when you want to string it and turn it into an animation, you have to go to the prototype, okay? So this is where you can see all these strings. So I'm just gonna redo what we have over here, which is from the first frame. I'm gonna string it to the second one. And this is very important. We have to string frame to frame. It's not frame to object or object to frame. It's frame to frame. Okay. Yeah, feel free to copy this file. Let me delete this first. Okay, you guys got a copy? You can copy this this one below because this one is already stringed. All right. Guess I'm gonna start. Okay, I guess I'll give another minute so that everyone can copy this. All good. Okay, I still see people still copying. Okay. So what we want to do over here is that we want to string the first frame to the second frame. So if you see this plus icon, drag it to the next frame. And then here you will have an option where you can choose from. So if you like it ease out, I personally like it ease out. I'll put it as 100 because I don't want it to be too long. So the bigger the number, the slower it will be, and the smaller the number, the faster it will be. And then from the second frame, okay, someone's still copying. From the second to the third frame, same. We're gonna do exactly the same thing. We click on the frame and then we string the second frame to the third frame. And I'll just do all the same, ease out 100 milliseconds. Same with here. Ease out 100, okay. And then I want it to be in loop so that I need to connect this to the beginning. Yeah, connect the last frame to the first frame.
So, Selchi?
And yes?
Sorry to interrupt. We have a
No worries.
question.
Yeah.
We have a question in the chat, and they're asking, when will you use Rive versus Lottie versus After Effects? So basically, different tools with different capabilities. How do you go about choosing what to use?
I think I can take this question. I mean, I can't speak for Rive, but because it's a different company. But again, it depends on your preference and your like your motion workflow. For like a lot of people, like they try out different tools and then they figure out, okay, this is something that they love or what's going to happen there. But what we can say is that LottieFiles, like from our side, like the reason why we ask people to use Lottie is because of the ecosystem. Because you have the integrations to multiple applications during the custom library, and multiple other stuff as well. Because of the ecosystem and everything that's there, um, Lottie kind of makes it easier for someone to create and integrate animations as well. But again, it's a total preference thing. It depends on what you really want to achieve as well. Yeah. I hope that's a democratic answer that I can provide from our side.
Yeah, I think I just adding up to what Yamin has mentioned. What we are really focusing on in our company at LottieFiles is to enable the motion. So enabling it not just for motion designers, but also like, for instance, our marketers also go to our workspace and then access the animation, and then they can bring it to their presentation. So we are trying to make it as democratic as possible, so that everyone in the company, either you're a creative agency or like a tech company or like any company that work with motion, anyone will feel like there is no barrier for them to access motion. So that is one of our goal.
Got it. Thank you so much. For those who are having issues with the plugin, seems like there's some folks online having issues with the plugin. I think Yamin is saying that to try to exit Figma and then try to reopen it again and see if that works.
There is some question. Where's the export to Lottie button? It's here. Like you have to click on the third tab, leader, and then yeah, once you click on the frame, then this button will be enabled. Okay, I'll continue with this. Is that okay?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so we already string all this frame, and don't forget to also previously we don't have this label. It means that we haven't clicked on the flow starting point. So we need to indicate our frames as which one is the starting point of the animation, right? So we got to click on this and make sure that we click on this flow starting point. So this is called flow 37, but feel free to change the name. And what you can do over here, instead of export to Lottie, because this is a prototype, you can click over here, and then in the drop down, you will find all the prototype that's in this Figma. Okay, we have a lot of flow over here. This is flow 37. And voila, we have our animation ready. But then like, oh my God, this is a bit too fast. I want it to be a bit slower. Okay, so we can change the duration over here. Let's say I want it to be 300, and then maybe it stays a bit longer when it's clapping. And then over here also 300, and then maybe I'll put it after delay. Okay, so you don't need to go back. You can just refresh over here. And then you already have a new version of your animation, which you already amended the setup. Right, and then you can save to your workspace or insert it as a GIF or insert it as an SVG as you like. So that's for animating prototype. Next, we're going to show you on how to do text and gradient. So our plugin also supports text and gradient, but there is this one small tips that you need to make sure that all frames, all frames or any any object that use the gradient needs to use the same number of gradient stops. So let me show you how it looked like. So, okay, we have this Radio X shop selling radios, and we have this 10% off banner, which is using a gradient. It's like that shining effect with, yeah, that shining effect animation. So how are we gonna do that? So to do that, you can copy the one at the bottom over here, and then we'll do it together. So while you are copying these frames, I want to show you, if we go back to the design tab over here, so this is actually not a solid, even though it's seen as only orange on this frame, right? But if you see it, it's actually a linear. There is like 1, 2, and actually 3 color stops over here, but all using the same color with 100% opacity. Okay, and then the second one, so that linear, that 3 color stops, so I changed one of it into something that's a bit lighter. Same with this one, something a bit lighter and a bit in the middle. And at the end, it all goes back to the orange, right? Okay, so we're gonna do exactly the same thing. Choose the prototype, click on the first frame, string it to the second one, again, frame to frame, not frame to the object. Oops, okay. All right. So we have, okay, let's put, oops, drag. Oh. Right. It's my animate. I want it to be, let's say, ease out 50. Let's make it a bit faster. Let's make it the same, all of it. What this should be. Okay, and then, all right. Is that 300? Okay. And again, don't forget to click on the flow starting point so that you know which frame is the starting point of this animation. Then again, run the plugin. Go to flow 47. And here you have the animation, right? Okay, so what happened if it's like, oh, it's a bit too fast. Like I want it to stay a bit longer on, like, let's say on the 3rd frame. We can just change the after delay to, let's say, 500. And then let's refresh. Right. Okay, this is a good example of a mistake that might happen. Because here, we gotta sometimes be very careful on the naming. So we have discount, discount 5, discount 6, and then discount 5 again. So sometimes if the name is repeated, then it might happen, like it might be choppy like this. So just need to make sure discount 1, discount 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oops. Oh, where am I? Okay. Okay, discount 1 to discount 2. And then discount 2 to discount 3. Okay, that's correct. Discount 3 to discount 4. Okay, let's go and try this again. All right. So yeah, that's how we work with the gradient. And of course, you can change, like you can have as many color stops as you want with the gradient. And even you can even try to, you know, like change the text from light to regular and then to bold, depending on the style of your visual, of course. Okay. All right, so then we're gonna go to the next one.
So let's give them some time to try out some
Yeah.
stuff before we go in.
Yeah, sure.
All right. If you guys have any questions, I know that there's logo of death's questions are in the chat. We're checking out with our tech team to see if there's any fixes for that. But do try exiting Figma and closing everything out and reopening. Sometimes this works. But yeah, but if you guys have any questions right now, if you're unable to do anything, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to jump in and help you guys out. Right? Give like 10 minutes maybe for them to try out. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Yamin, for looking into it. We have a question here in Miami, so I'm gonna hand off the mic.
Hey, this is Cliff. In the hand clapping one, it goes back to the first frame. If you want to make that like truly smooth, like the hand going back, do you just need to make those 3 frames? Or is there a way to like reverse the action?
Let me go back to the clapping hand. This one, right?
Yeah, like there's 4 now. If you want to
Yeah.
make the going back smooth, you'd have to add 3 more frames.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on, because we have 4 over here. Like the one that I tried was like, it goes like this, and then this sparkle goes a bit more at the top, right?
Yep.
But let's say that you can even do it with only 2 frames, seriously, for this. So you can go like only like this. But then if you want to have more control over, like, oh, I want it to be staying a bit more, and then I want to have a bit of a sparkle going on at the top, then it will require more frame. But if it's just like a looping and a linear animation of clapping hand, or if you want it to be like a very fast clapping like this, then it maybe just need like 2 frames.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
We have another question, real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Quick question about the trigger. Does that play a point into it? So let's say if it's on click, on drag, after the delay, would that affect the animation at all, or does it matter at all?
It matters when you choose the after delay, because it will give a bit more time before that frame starts animating. So it will give like it's like a start delay in our plugin over here. Wait.
Yep.
Let me try with the single frame. So it's actually exactly same concept with this. So if the duration is the whole duration, but then the start delay is like the after delay in Figma. So it's the same concept. So if you want this particular frame to stay a bit longer before it animates to the second one, then you can apply the after delay.
I can help you with it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Anyone else have questions over here? Oh, over here. Perfect.
Hi. Could you please go over the settings again for the discount banner?
Yeah.
I'm not getting the linear gradient to move forward.
Yeah, sure. So over here, we use ease out 50. And I put after delay 800 over here. And then we have ease in 500. Then we have ease out 500. Then the one that goes back to the first frame is ease out 500.
Got it. He's trying it out. I can help him as well. Perfect. Anyone else before we continue? I think we're good to go here. Handing back to you.
Cool. And yeah, feel free to try, you know, with more gradient stops, changing the color to your liking, change the font as well, so that you can see how what's the possibility with this features. Okay, I think all good. Any more like maybe tips and tricks, Mao, you want to share?
Yeah, I think I'll address the after delay part in the part 8 that I'll be taking on as well. So you can actually create extra frames to keep your animation longer make your animation longer. But yeah, once we go to the parts at the end, I think I can explain it a bit better. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Mao. Alrighty.
Did we miss something, Sochi? Or are you continuing?
I think, yeah, we're continuing.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good to go here. Yep.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, so next one, if you are very familiar with auto layout, you can copy this one, this chat icon. Then we can play around with this. So how this auto layout gonna work? Like sometimes you will have like you have your design and you already use auto layout in your design, and you were wondering like, can I just animate it with this? Like if I use auto layout in my frame, will I be able to animate it and keep that setting of the auto layout? Yes, you'll be able to do that. I'll show you the preview of this UI design. So we have this a quick chat, and then this is what we're gonna make, the chat bubble, which is using an auto layout. So what we're gonna do here is we'll just copy this frame. And then, yeah, copy and paste the second one. And let's say I want this to be a lot bigger, like 12, let's say. And then same with the second one. Okay. Oops. Oh, what's happening? Okay, we're back. No sweat. Okay. So what we can do, like with this auto layout, is that we have flexibility in, making your object slightly bigger, but then keeping the spacing the same. You have more control on making things look a lot more neat. So let's say we have this, and I think I want it to be a bit more. Let's say this one. Change it to, what was the number? 583. Yeah. And yeah, be careful when you are copying from frames that's already stringed. This is possible to happen, which is your frame gonna string back to that frame, and that's gonna make the animation choppy. So I'll just delete this wire over here. And let's inspect what we're using over here. We have ease out 300, same ease out 300, same. I think these are all the same because we kind of want it linear and like very quite smooth. So from here, then we go to the prototype. Again, click string from frame to frame, not to the object. Okay, 300. And then let's do this as 300. Again. And then let's make it loop. All right, we have this ready. So now we have this auto layout animation, and this feature actually is very useful if you're working a lot for you know like a simplified UI animation when you want to show like, oh, it's a responsive design, or like something that's related to the UI. This is very useful. So yeah, I see a lot of tryout over here. Any questions for the auto layout?
Yeah, there's a question online about how do you insert it into a prototype?
Insert, sorry, the frame or?
The animation. Just as is on the mobile phone. that
Oh,
you
yeah,
shared
yeah.
earlier.
I see. Okay. So once we are done, for instance here, I guess, Mao, then I will cover this now. Okay, since someone is asking.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so after we are done with creating an animation, we can insert it as a GIF over here. So if you are seeing this UI, this chat bubble, actually I inserted it as a GIF so that I can have quite a good preview of how it's actually gonna look like on my UI, right? So I can insert it as a GIF, click on a medium size. So it's here now. Oops, sorry. I just want to make it smaller. I'll just take this out. And then there's gonna be a question like, would you like to save the animation to a workspace? You can click save, and then you can, this is where your workspace is. So I'll put it into the workflow and code. This is like my workspace with Yamin and Mao. You can click on the folder that where you want to save it, and then click save. Let's just put it here, animations, and then I'll save it. All right. So, and then over here, I will just.
I think there's
edit
a
this.
question in the Miami floor.
Here you go. Does the GIF automatically update, or if I made a change, a color change or something, do I need to go back and recreate that GIF?
Yeah, it's the GIF is not automatically updated. But there is So if you want to hand it off, that would be that would be a lot easier, because you can just insert the SVG, and then if you open the Lottie files for developer, I think Yamin or Mao gonna cover it later. That's where the developer can get all the data of this animation, and even the version, or even the animation setting of this animation as well.
Yeah, I think just to add to it. So right now, Figma doesn't natively support the Lottie file format. So that's why we kind of allow you to add it as a GIF. But let's say you're working on another design tool, like let's say Webflow, Frame, or anything else. So once you update on your workspace, and if you insert it, we're gonna show it off today as well, don't worry. Um, when you update the animation itself, it gets updated on every single platform that you have used the animation on. And then we're gonna show that off today as well. So we don't worry about that as well. Yeah.
I hope that answered the question. And after you insert the GIF, the only thing that you need to do is just to click on the frame and click on the flow starting point, so that you can preview it from here. Yeah.
Okay, we're good. You can continue.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think I'll hand it over to Mao after this. He will cover a bit more advanced animation. So yeah, over to you, Mao.
Okay, great. Thank you, Chelsea. Hi, I haven't done a proper introduction. Mao here, Lottie Studio lead. I work with Chelsea in bringing visuals to LottieFiles website, YouTube channels, and socials. So yeah, this session, let me actually share my screen here. I'm gonna cover parts 7 and 8, where we're gonna explore a little bit more into prototyping and the features that our LottieFiles plugin support from Figma itself. So here, in part 7, we're going to talk about strokes and mask, and this comes pretty helpful when you're animating something like this. Let me go ahead and just play the GIF here to show you guys what we're going to create. So we're going to do like a Fox 3D sort of a water filler animation that you see here. We can create it from scratch. So please grab these two shapes that you see here and try it out with me. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna make a copy here while and let you guys follow me as well. So you can create a simple frame here and start from scratch. You don't need to worry about these two frames that's already created. It's gonna paste this two here for me. It's okay. There it is. So here, I'm just going to create an ellipse. Let me hide this and then create an ellipse. And then keep it in the center. And for us to mask this out and put them inside, we need to use this as a mask, right? So, oh, I think, okay, cool. You can right click on here and then simply go here and use this as a mask, and then it's going to anything that you put inside this ellipse here is going to be masked out. So if I right now bring these two shapes inside, you can see that immediately it's inside this ellipse, right? So now you have sort of set the ground for the whole animation to happen, and you can sort of see it happen when you drag it around the ellipse as well. So now let's actually create the stroke that you see that is filling up around here. You can do that very easily. You can just simply duplicate the mask here. You can press Ctrl D and then actually undo the mask, or you can simply actually just create another ellipse. My bad, I didn't do that earlier. And take this outside. Yeah, there you go. And then you can center this as well. And for the one you just created here, you can actually add a stroke. And then, okay, somehow it's not showing up here. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me put this outside to see if it is visible. Okay. I'm going to create one here and then add the strokes back in. Okay, there you go. And take this outside and actually add the same color that I used here. And then I'm going to grab this inside. So what's happening is the moment I bring it inside, it's actually adding into the mask. That's why you're not able to see it. But if you can just cut it out and then paste it outside, I think you'll be able to see it. Okay, Chelsea, am I doing something wrong here, or is this not working out the way I used to do this?
Okay, let me check.
Okay. Okay, it's good now. Yeah, I think there was a small error. Okay, now I'm going to add back the color here, and then you have set all the shapes inside this this frame for the animation to start, right? So as you see here on the GIF that you saw earlier, like it starts from the very bottom and then fills up to the whole ellipse itself. Okay. Now to do that, I'm going to select both of these and then align them, and then keep it all the way down here. And then I'm going to duplicate this frame and go back here and then select those two ellipses, those two shapes, and then bring it around here. And now if I go ahead and load up my plugin, you can see the animation happen if you select both of these frames and press export to Lottie. Okay. Maybe this is already prototype. Yeah. So if you have a prototype setting already done, you won't be able to press export to Lottie, or you have to select the prototype flow, but I can just remove this right away. And then select these two frames and then press export to Lottie. Yeah, there you go. So now you see sort of the main frame two frames happening, some sort of giving us some sort of an animation. But for us to actually make that Fox 3D happen, you need to select the shape and then give these two shapes, position it in a way that it is going from left to right. So I'm going to grab this shape inside here and then bring it all the way to my left. And then I'm going to grab the next shape and then bring it all the way to my right. And then again, I'm going to bring them down so that it's out of the frame. And same way, I'm going to actually move this shape all the way to my right, where it's filled up. And then I'm going to select the next shape and then move it all the way to my right as well. So now if I go ahead and again export this, or you can just simply press the refresh frames, and then you're going to see the animation happen. So this is somewhat how I animate on Figma. I keep on checking how my animation looks every now and then while I'm animating. This is something very helpful for me as well. So you can see that it's not what we want it to be, right? It's going super fast, and this is not something that not how we want it to be. So let's actually add prototype starting points here. So you can simply grab this frame to the next frame, and then for the trigger here, if you keep it an on click, it's going to immediately go to whatever animation that you have set from here and then play out these settings. But if you change the trigger to after delay, it's going to wait on the screen for whatever milliseconds that you have set and then go to the next frame. So here, let's say I'm going to say instant here and see how it looks. And I want the first frame to stay for, let's say, 1 second, which is 1,000 milliseconds. So I'm going to write 1 second here and show you guys how that actually looks. So if I refresh the flow here, oh wait. So for the prototype to work, you always need to make sure that you have a flow starting point. So you can press flow starting point, and then let's rename this to mouse water animator. So once you give it a name, and then if you go ahead and select a prototype flow here, it's going to appear at the very bottom. And you can see there's a lot of prototypes made here. That's because you have a lot of all of you are actually adding prototypes here. So I'm going to select my prototype here and see how that looks. Yeah, so like the settings that I have set up, you can see that it's staying for 1 second, and then it's going to the next frame just towards the end of the animation, right? So that's exactly what I have set from the after delay settings here. So okay, let's not do that. That's not what we want. Let's actually go instantly to the next frame, but let's use the animation settings here to say how it should be going to the next frame, right? So from here, I'm going to select Smart Animate. This is where our plugin reads what you have done and then show it on our plugin itself. So when you select Smart Animate, you're going to get a lot of options here that says linear, is in, is out, the very basic animation settings that we usually use. And then recently we have added support to the gentle, quick, bouncy, slow, and all of the custom spring animation settings as well. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just select ease in and out, where the animation is going to start fast and then slow down in the middle and then end fast as well. So again, now you have a duration option here, so it's going to determine like from, even though if the animation is going from this frame to this frame instantly, but the transition time is the duration here, right? So maybe I'm gonna go ahead and write maybe two seconds. Then let's see how that looks. So I'm going to press refresh here, and then you can see that it's taking that 2 seconds to go from this frame to this frame, right? Maybe I think I should actually give it a little bit more time just to see that smoothness. I'm gonna go and maybe add 3 seconds here and then see how that looks. Yeah, somewhat what we did earlier, but okay, just give it around 5 seconds and see how that animation works. Yeah, I think that looks much better for a spinner or loader animation, but I did mention that we're gonna also use strokes as well to do the this loading spinner animation. So to do that, you can simply actually select the stroke, and then you have to select the auto stroke that you set here, and then reduce the stroke width to almost nothing. So it's going from a blank screen and filling up the whole thing. That's also something that you can do. Maybe just give it a little bit width there, and then see how that looks. Yeah, like it's what I think. It looks pretty cool, I would say. So yeah, another thing that I think was mentioned earlier from one of the questions is that how can you make this stay longer? Like, let's say you want the last frame to stay longer, right? So you can actually do that. You do that by creating an extra frame. Oops. You can create an extra frame here, and then let's go to prototype and link the second frame to the last frame. And then here for the trigger, we're going to say that, hey, make the second frame stay longer and then go to the last frame. So you can say, okay, use after delay settings here, and then say it goes after 1 second. And let's see how that plays out. So it's going to start, and then you can see that after 298th frame, it's staying there for whatever settings that we told it to. We told it here, right? 800 milliseconds. Sorry, 1000 milliseconds. So here it's staying for that long. So you have that control to play around on how slow or fast the animation should end. And just to make it very obvious for everyone, I'm going to make this around 5000 and see how that plays out. You can immediately see that the amount of frames increased here as well, and all the settings that you have given here, it's working out pretty well. Okay, let's see if you have any questions.
There's one question online from Maria Paulina. When you're creating animations with Lottie, you do not have to define the action that triggers animation, like click, after delay, etc.
Okay, yeah. So to do that, the two settings that you have to actually keep in mind is that from this trigger option here, if you the on click and after delay are the two settings that our plugin supports right now, because if you select on click, whatever the frame is going to go from from the first one to the next frame immediately if you don't have any settings for the animation, right? But if you select after delay, it's going to wait this long, just like how I explained. It's going to wait this long and then go to the next frame, and it's going to override any animation settings that you have done here and immediately go to the trigger settings that you have put here. So yeah, just play around with the delays and see how, you know, how that makes your animation smoother or yeah, better.
Yeah. Also, well, we're taking a quick 15-minute break. I don't think you guys are. You guys want to enjoy some Brainstation, bring some refreshment. So we can take a quick 15-minute break.
Yeah.
We can-
You guys in Miami, you have any question before we go on a break? No? You have one question? Yeah. Okay.
When it comes to development, like translating it, the design to the development phase, how do you see that in Lottie? Or like, do you do that within Figma only in developer mode?
Okay, so I'm going to touch this bit deep on the next section after the break, but just to give an overview, the power of Lottie actually comes in because it has the ability to send over to the developer with a very small file size. Just to give a brief on how that works, if you go ahead and save animation, let's say save to workspace, right? So these are all the workspaces. I'm sorry, we haven't actually touched on our platform just yet, but like Chelsea mentioned, this is my education workspace, and if you're on a free plan, you'll have your own personal free space that's viewable when you select this place. So I'm going to save this to animations folder in workflow and co and just press save. So once you save the animation, this is going to live inside your workspace, which means imagine this as Google Drive or any other, you know, folder management that you usually use online. So this is going to store all your animations inside this project itself. So if you go ahead and, you know, select this little icon here, it's going to open the animation in browser, which is going to launch our platform. So here, just going to give it some time to load. So once you launch it in browser, this launches our platform. So okay, it's just popping up to request access to other workflows, but this is the animation itself. It's Lottie, and if you look at the right panel here, you can see that the file size is super small, and we support two formats right now, Lottie JSON and our very own .lottie, and you have the options to make it even smaller for the developer to, you know, use in the app or website. So you have the option to download here as well. I think if you're on a premium plan, you have the option to download the .lottie. If not, I think the JSON is available. Or else you have this little thing called handoff, where you can simply go to the handoff and enable the asset link. So here you have the options to share just the link here to your developer, and then they'll be able to add into any, you know, any dev environment they want. And once you share the dev link, you have the, if you change the color of anything here inside the platform, it's going to immediately reflect on the product itself. So yeah. Okay, gonna continue with the part 8. Let me share my screen. Okay, so for the last part, this is the most interesting one, and sometimes this gets a little bit tricky as well. So this is multivariant components. I'm sure if you're familiar with Figma, you would have worked with components a lot, and this actually gives our plugin a lot of power to bring in different animations into one single frame. So feel free to grab this section here, down here as well. You have the frame size and everything set up. Just you can grab this part up here as well. So yeah, just since it gets a little hectic while working on the animation, I'm gonna start my animation on a different file itself. But yeah, feel free to follow me on this file. So yeah, it's just the same thing here. Okay, so what's happening in this animation is it has a cabin, it has a wave at the back, it has a sun as well, and all of these are triggered with different compositions and component sets, right? So if you go down here, you can see that this is one set of animation, and this is another set, and this is another set. So just like how you did earlier, you can connect these prototypes together and make the animation. I'm just gonna simply give some simple ease outs here to the animations and see how that looks. This says flow 55, so I can go ahead and export this flow 55 on the plugin. Oh wow, okay, that is not how it was supposed to look. So let's see how we can actually play around with this. Maybe I'll change this to ease in and out. I always go with ease in and out. It looks so much smoother when you use ease in and out. So let's change this to 800 milliseconds and see how that works. Yeah, I think that looks, the first part of it looks pretty cool. Gonna go ahead and change this as well to ease in and out. And then change this to 800 milliseconds as well. Refresh the flow. Okay, so you see that it's going, it's playing all of these frames, but it's not going back to the start of the animation. Just to make it a little bit more visible, I'm going to change this background to white. So as you saw from the earlier animation, it goes back to the first frame, which is not happening in this animation. So all you need to do is just simply go to the very last frame here and then connect this all the way back to the first frame. So now you sort of made it loop, right? So I'm not going to play around with this and then just refresh the flow. So see how that looks. Yeah, so you see that now it's going back and then it's sort of giving you that looping animation effect, right? So the last frame that you connected to the first frame is giving you that loop animation that we just created. Let's go ahead and do that to the wave as well. This is just 2 frames. You can make it loop much easy. So you can just connect it to the second frame, and the second frame can go back and connect to the first frame. And let's see the flow, how the flow 56 works out. I'm gonna go back and run flow 56. Yeah. So it's just giving you the loop that it's just moving from left to right, and then it's connecting back to the first frame. So that's pretty simple. Let's go and do the same to the sun as well. I'm going to go ahead and connect it here. Okay, and then connect it here as well. I'm going to leave the settings as easy in and out, and then connect the last one to the first frame here as well. I'm going to see how that looks on the plugin. Flow 57. Okay. Yep, that looks good. Looks good. It's going back. That's just how I expected to. So now comes the interesting magical part, right? So how do we make this appear in one frame itself? It's pretty simple. All you need to do is select all of these frames and make this prototype. Sorry, a component group. So for you to do that, you can go to design. If you're on the new UI, it's on design here, these three dots. If you're on the old UI, I think it should be at the center here, the toolbar at the center, and then you can use the component settings there. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and select this and create a component set, right? So once you create a component set, it everything that you have done actually lives inside this component set, where all the animation settings you have done still exists. If you go ahead and go to prototype here, you can see that all the prototype is still living there, so it's safe. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of the animations, rest of the frames as well. Just go to these three dots and create a component set. Here as well, create a component set, right? So now that you have created component sets, you can, just like how you create other components in Figma, you can just simply Alt or Option click this and bring it to a frame and place it there. Okay, I think that looks good. And then I'm going to bring Option click this and bring it inside this frame as well, and bring the sun inside as well. So now you have the freedom to move all the components inside with the animation itself. You can sort of composite the animation. You have that option inside the frame itself. Now let's go ahead and move this component to the back, so the cabinet is at the front. Yeah. Okay, so now let's see how this works. So for this to play, you need to make sure that it has a flow starting point. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and name this like cabin mouse cabin. Okay, let's just keep it like that, and then go ahead and select the prototype flow from here, which appeared just at the very bottom. And there you go. You have all the animations that you just created on all of these prototypes living inside one frame itself. So this is just one way how you can actually bring in multiple different animations into one frame and be very creative in making your own animation composition scene. And we have seen a lot of very complex animations being made and exported into as a Lottie, and it's just beautiful to see all the creations that has been done on just multivariant components. And of course, this is transparent. You can actually remove the fill here and then refresh the animation, and you can use it again as a GIF, or as, of course, as a Lottie as well. Okay. Do we have any questions on multi-variant components?
Let's give people some time to try. I think
Yeah.
there are, like, you can even mix up. So you can make, so the idea of multivariant component animation we have with the plugin is that you can mix in a lot of animations together into one, so that with the other methods that we taught you, you only have control over a single animation. Now you can actually have control over multiple animations and actually mix it up together. So you have more controls over different things you can add into one file. So that's the basic concept of it.
Any questions in Miami or online? No questions in Miami.
Just another example of multivariant component animation. you can see that this has a driver at the top and some dust, which doesn't actually show up on the frames, but it's going from left to right. You can see it on one frame. There's a house there. You don't see anything because it's also going from left to right. Grass animations, and you can let's just see how that looks on our plugin. I'm going to create a full starting point, name it driver, and then export this to a Lottie. Yeah, so as you can see that, let's turn off the transparency. Yeah, you can see that all of these multivariant components are being played inside this one single frame and as a Lottie. So yeah, that's one very creative way of how you can actually use this.
Now, this is a question by Maria. Can you repeat the step when you play the prototype from the frame?
Okay, prototype from the frame. Okay, yeah. Here, once you bring in all the prototype components first frame inside this main frame that you have created, all you need to do is create a flow starting point. If not, it's not going to work. So just make sure you have a flow starting point created for the main animation frame, and then you can give it a name here like this, and then go to our plugin, and from export to Lottie, you can search for your flow. Okay, there's a lot just came in. Okay, here select driver, and then there you go. You have the animation playing on the plugin. Yeah, same thing with the house as well. Maria, you can go to, I think I was working on a different file. Let me go there and play it. So here, just if you select this one and go to prototype, you can see that I have created a flow starting point. And then you need to select this exact name from the drop down list that you see here on the select prototype. And then just simply select that, and then you have the animation playing right there. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, let's talk about dev mode and how we support Figma's dev mode to export your Lottie animations easily, to hand it off to your developer easily. So since Figma launched dev mode recently, we developed a plugin just for the dev mode itself, and we made it easier for everyone to hand it off to the developer using the dev mode plugin. So for you to do that, you need to have a prototype or something that's imported to your Figma through the plugin itself. Like for example, I'm going to use this animation as an example. I'm going to go back in my plugin, go to my workspaces, and then go to one of the folders here, and maybe import this flow that I actually just exported. You can insert this back as a GIF. You can press insert as a GIF here, and then just going to leave the settings, maybe turn off transparency because it has a white background, but you can use transparency as well. I'm just going to insert as a GIF. And if you select the large size, it's going to take a couple of minutes, but usually it works pretty well with small and medium sizes when you're importing it back. So once you have the GIF inside the file, you can place it inside your screens and frames, and then wait, where did it import? Okay, there it is. So now Figma, our plugin is to know that this GIF itself is imported from plugin, and that's the beauty of the dev mode. If you are on an enterprise plan for Figma, you'll be able to turn this on, but I don't think that's available on our file. So once you turn this on, you can select the GIF that you just imported, and then go to plugins from the dev mode itself and search for the LottieFiles plugin. But since I have been using it here, it's appearing, but let's go ahead and search for it. And yeah, there it is. So you can run the dev mode plugin of LottieFiles, and it's going to show some previews of, it's going to show the preview of the GIF that you actually imported, that is the Lottie itself. So even though you are selecting a GIF from the file, the plugin is showing the Lottie animation that lives inside the workspace itself. So don't worry of the animation being pixelated or anything. This is actually a Lottie itself. This is not a GIF. So here you have these animation options before you can hand it over to your developer. You can keep it in autoplay or loop, or these settings, or that however you want it to appear on your product. And then simply go ahead and copy this part, this script here, and then you can hand it off to your developer. Let me go ahead and run a simple dev environment just to show you how it looks. Okay, just give me a few minutes. I have been logged out of CodePen. Okay, here it is. So this is just a CodePen, just a simple HTML space where you can just simply paste the code that you have just copied from here, and then it's playing just on loop and autoplay as I have set it from the dev settings itself. And if you change it here, let's say play on hover, and then again you can press this copy button here as well, and then paste it back. It's gonna give all these options here, and then it's gonna play on hover. So you have these options right inside Figma itself to hand it over for dev. So it's super easy to do if you work with dev mode, and if you work with developers through dev mode, right? And don't worry, these options are still available on platform if you don't have dev mode as well. So for you to do that, all you need to do is let's run the plugin again outside the dev mode. So here you can go to workspaces, and again I'm going to go ahead and launch the same animation that I just played and open it in browser. So here, like I explained earlier, you can turn it on. It's already on since I did it the last time. And if you press customize here, you have the same options that we just showed on the developer mode itself. You can enable the autoplay, hover, and all the controls as well. And you can see it live here on the preview. If you have the loop on or autoplay on, you can see that it happens in real time. And if you press hover, the animation is going to only play on hover. And then you can again copy the same. This has .lottie as well, or you can copy JSON as well. And once you copy this, okay, just press copy here, and then again go ahead and paste it back on a developer environment. You can see that it works just the same way how it worked on the dev mode handoff as well. Yeah. So that's how you can use you can export animations or hand off our animations to developers easily.
Well, there's two questions. One from Maria. So devs needs to have a Lottie as a dependency on the project to be available to embed the code. Is that true or false?
Once you hand it over the link, the developers will be actually accessing the CDN link from your workspace itself. So developers doesn't need to be a part of your workspace to use the Lottie.
And I think the next question is, and this is a very good question. So what's the difference between .lottie and Lottie JSON? I'm going to let you answer this, and I'll fill in if anything else.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back and show the .lottie and Lottie part. So Lottie JSON here is the very first Lottie format that was developed a few years ago, and this has been super small file size, which is why a lot of developers around the world are using the file format, because it helps users to it helped everyone to actually load the websites and products smoothly and easily when you use the JSON. But we went one step forward and developed the .lottie version here, which is super tiny compressed Lottie animation, which is even smaller than a JSON file. As you can see that from here, the JSON is 85 KB, while the .lottie is just 7 KB. And we are giving more options for everyone to actually optimize it even further. Well, sometimes this works pretty well and cuts off a lot of KBs, but here it just says 6.5. And it's, if you compare it to a Lottie JSON, it's 92% smaller, which means you can use more and more animations inside your product without having to, without feeling the website or product feeling laggy. Yeah.
Yeah. So in short, like, so you have Lottie, and then .lottie is like it's like a zip file that can pack multiple Lotties into one, and all the resources, all the information into one file together. In simple terms. Hope that answers the question, Jonathan.
Okay, there are no questions in Miami, so.
All right. I mean, we can move forward. Now, let me just, I think maybe just take the last part. And
Okay.
I guess we can. Yep.
Over to you, Yami.
Yes. And added to what Chelsea did put in the comments, it includes theming as well. And also just letting you guys know, we get a lot of these questions about theming interactivity. That's something our team is working on. But more of that later. But for now, so this is the last part of this entire exercise and everything. Thank you guys so much for this going through it with our team and going through everything. But of course, there is one final part. Just before we go, to that. How do you guys find the workshop so far? If you guys don't mind me asking, just feel free to like put in the chat. Feel free to take a mic and let us know. How do you find the animation workshop itself? If you guys are shy, it's okay as well. I can just move on. All right.
Hi, sorry, Yamin. Can you repeat the question? I think I heard that you're asking feedback about the workshop. Was that it?
Yeah, yeah. It's before we go to the last part. Just asking like if you guys have like, I just want to know like from the room itself, like what do you guys think about the workshop?
Got it, got it. Okay, so for everybody who didn't hear, they're basically asking, what do you all think about the workshop? People are applauding, so.
All right, cool. I will take that as 5 out of 5. All right, because there is in the type form, I do ask you guys to rate the workshop. So I just want to make sure before I give you guys a type form.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So we
Yamin,
have-
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. So we're having trouble a little bit with your mic. So we were able to hear Mao and Celsia pretty good, but then I don't know, for some reason it's your mic is coming in like a little muffled.
Is it okay now?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my internet connection. Sorry guys, I'm in the Maldives, so it's we don't actually have the best internet connection in the world, but I hope I'm audible now. Let me just just want to take you guys through the final part of this entire session. So in order for us to certify you guys, we do have a challenge where you kind of have to prove to us that you can actually use the tool. So, and we want to make it really fun as well. We want you guys to create a Halloween animation of your choice. So there are a lot of workspaces that we have kind of put it here. Just feel free to like put your email and start working on it. And I'm just going to go through like a few of the ground rules for this entire thing. So you can just mix these shapes and make an animation. Just give you an example. You can try multiple things that we have given you guys. You can do like prototype animations, or you guys can also do like a multi-rate animation. It's totally up to you guys. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Wait. Okay. All right. So just to give you guys on how you submit the animation. All right. Well, just before that, these are the accepted type of animations. You can do a prototype animation, or you can do a multi-component animation. But just letting you guys know, please don't do single frame animations with presets. It's literally cheating. So we accept animated icons, animated buttons, loading animations, anything that works your magic for you. Just take some shapes and try it out. And lastly, so we know there's and I mean, I feel a lot of sympathy for you guys. I'm just going to extend this time to 29th September for you guys to submit. Just feel free to try out an animation. So I'm just going to go through this a little bit for you guys as well. So what you guys can do is just make a simple animation. Let's say I have this, right? And this is the level of animation we accept. What I'm going to do is just create a very simple animation. You can either create something as simple as this, make a prototype. Because what we're trying to look at is if you guys understand the basic concepts of using the plugin. So you can make something as simple as this, or you can even add some shapes. For example, I want to add this pumpkin head to this animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably make it into a prototype and make it into a component. There we go. All right. I get OCD, so I kind of have to make sure my animations are complete. All right, there we go. You can even try mixing up multiple animations as well. For example, for this case, just make this 500. component set. Okay, component 28, and you can even add multiple stuff. Again, feel free to like alright, we got 28.
Hi,
Just add in
Yamin.
like multiple stuff. Yeah.
Are they only limited to the assets we provided, or can
No.
they
You're
use?
not
Okay.
limited to assets we provided. Go crazy. We just want to help you guys out. Like we know that not every motion designer is a illustrator. I have that problem when I work with Celsi and Mouse. So we're providing assets for you guys to try out as well. But the idea is that you can create something like this, make it into an animation, and something I want to remind you guys: do check out if your animation works or not. All right. So this one works, right? You can put it into a section, or you can add 200 sections below. Copy this link, go to copy paste, go to this button which says copy link to section, and let me share the form. There we go. So we have a couple of questions we do ask you, like what's your name? Let's say my name's Yamin. All right, I'll give my email here as well. If you guys want to reach out to me, do reach out on yamin@LottieFiles.com. But yeah, of course, the most important part, rating the workshop. I give it a 5. And yeah, so this is a section I want you guys to be really, to really think about this section. So you have to copy that link section and you have to paste it here. We do this because we want to check out the work that you guys have done. Once you guys are finished, put this link section here and then fill out the rest of the form. That's all you have to do. And we're giving you guys until and I know that this is from there. I mean, I really hope you guys take care of yourselves until 29th September, 23:59 PST, Pacific time, to actually submit. So you can grab the form on the file itself. I already put it here, and yeah, that's it. These are some of the stuff that you guys can use. Feel free to like grab stuff from any repository or anything and just make a very nice. You can, if you want to do more than one animation, by all means, we're not going to stop you. We love seeing more animation. Oh yeah, that's what we're trying out. Yeah. There you go. All right, awesome. If you guys have any questions, we do have 10 minutes left. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time. So yeah, I'm gonna open up for questions, and thank you guys, Friends of Figma Miami, for arranging this. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Any questions on Miami floor? Okay, we have one question.
Thank you. I was wondering in the plugin, in the one of the first tabs where you have like some pre-made animations from Lottie, is it possible to integrate some of those pre-made animations with components that we may have in Figma? So, for example, that blue spinner there. Let's say I wanted to create that blue spinner, but with the logo of my company in the middle. Is that something that can be done?
Yeah, but only for $12.99. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not for $12.99. So our public library is entirely free for you to use.
Okay.
So you can grab it, you can use it. No one's gonna come after you, so feel free.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Just to add on to that, you will be able to import the animations into the Figma file as GIFs. But if you want, you can also insert a specific frame of the animation as an SVG and then play around with the animation. Since most of the animations that you see on the Discover tab are made with After Effects or our Lottie Creator, you might not be able to add that in the whole animation as a prototype into the Figma itself. But yeah, feel free to use an SVG from the.
Gotcha. So you can use the SVG, but
Yes,
that specific one maybe was created in After Effects.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Gotcha. But if you have the SVG, you do have control over the color, like the styles, right? The
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, correct. That's cool. Awesome. Thanks, Mao and Yamin. Any other questions? Everyone here is exhausted. It was a long workshop, but thank you for holding on, and I hope you all enjoyed it. You all, got a glimpse of what's available to you in Figma. Super easy, right? Literally plug in and play. So play around with it, get comfortable with it. Once again, I want to thank you, thank Yamin, Mao, and Celsi. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And we hope that this is one of many workshops that we'll be doing together. And
So there is a question. I'll let Mal take this one. What's a compatible file type from After Effects we can import into?
Oh, we have a question online.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay,
give me 1 second, Mao, before you just question? What's a compatible file type from After Effects we can import into Lottie? Interesting.
Okay, so to answer that, not sure if I understood the question right. If you mean what are the features that Lottie supports in After Effects that you can export as a Lottie, we have a list of supported features for Lottie from After Effects. Let me paste it in the chat here. You can see all the After Effects features that you can export as a Lottie. Of course, not all the effects in After Effects are supported to be exported as Lottie, but you can have a look. And we have a small nifty little feature checker inside the plugin itself to see all the features you have used are actually compatible with it. And once you export it, you will be able to know whether the whole animation supports or what are the changes that you need to bring to make it compatible to a Lottie. Yeah. I hope that's the question that you were asking.
Awesome. Any other questions? One more time. If not, we want to thank you all for coming once again. For those of you here in Miami, we're actually doing a couple of giveaways. So if you want to stick around a couple of minutes. But for all of you online, thank you once again. Feel free to stick around, of course. And submit the final project so you get the certification. I hope everyone does it. Have fun with it. And once again, thank you, LottieFiles. And we'll see you all the next time. Thank you.
See you guys. Bye.
See you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Bye.